Hi guys, how are relations between the EU and the US at the moment? Well, not so good. So you can see here, according to this report, burner phones only for EU staff on US trips, Commission says. New guidance for European Commission staff entering the US echoes that for China or Ukraine, the Financial Times reports. Remember, the US is supposed to be an ally of the European Union and European Union members. The European Commission is equipping staff bound for the US with burner phones amid surveillance fears, the Financial Times reported on Monday. I'll leave a link to both this article and the FT article. Unfortunately, the latter is behind a paywall, but maybe some of you can read it. New guidance issued by the EU executive, which also advocates for the use of stripped-down computers on US trips, echoes that for travel to Ukraine or China. All staff are advised to turn off their devices and place them in a dedicated anti-espionage sleeve upon entering the country, the FT reports, citing as Commission officials. So this is, of course, this is something that's probably been happening in the past. This is, I imagine, a sort of typical guidance given to European Commission staff. But to make it so public, when you go to the US, make sure that you have your phone switched off. It's in an anti-espionage pocket. Use a stripped-down computer. Don't use your normal business computer or your normal staff authorized computer. Use a stripped down one, just the basics. Because what have we seen recently? We've seen, for example, a French scientist who was denied entry to the US, who was deported, who was sent back to France because of comments he made about the Trump administration on social media. So this is the new reality. European Union staff are being told to take burner phones with them. So burner phone, if you don't know, is a phone that you don't need, that you can throw away, that you're not expecting to hold on to long term. Just something to call people, to send a few messages, not your normal phone. This is the advice given to when traveling to a so-called ally of European nations. This is how deep we have gone down the rabbit hole. This is how terrible the situation has become. And can you blame the European Commission here? No, you can't. It's no longer safe traveling to the United States under these circumstances because European Commission staff could be picked up by the Immigration Department, could be harassed, could be imprisoned. That's no longer beyond the pale. And it may be difficult for the European Commission to get staff back if they are eventually arrested. Because relations are now so sour, there's no guarantee that you would be able to get staff back. Donald Trump has sent somebody who has not committed a crime to El Salvador. A guy who was sent by mistake. And this guy has been a district court has demanded that this guy be returned to the US. The US Supreme Court has instructed the US government, the Trump administration, to respect the directive of that lower court, and Donald Trump's administration is currently ignoring that. So if European Commission staff are going to the US, they have to be extremely careful. This is how terrible the current situation has become. Now, hopefully, things will improve in the future when Donald Trump is no longer in office or the people around him are no longer with their hands on the levers of power. But what a sorry state of affairs it has become.